Um, the system that taught you survival was never designed to let you thrive. Welcome to Soft Girl Era, the sacred space where strong Black women unlearn survival, rediscover softness, and reclaim the joy, rest, and freedom they deserve. I'm your host, LeAnne Dolce, pronounced Dolce, like sweet softness whispered in French. I'm your guide from burnout to boundaries, from doing to being, from strong to soft, in loving every second of it. Today, I want to share something with you that fundamentally changed the way I understand power, oppression, and liberation. I recently had the privilege of sitting down with Shakira Hammonds, a brilliant scholar, advocate, and truth teller whose work is dismantling the invisible architecture of oppression that has shaped Black families for generations. Shakir is making the world a better place by exposing how systems, policies, and institutions have been designed not by accident, but with surgical precision to destabilize Black communities. They illuminate how Black men and women have been targeted in distinct but deeply connected ways. And what they shared with me was nothing short of revolutionary. Because here's what we've been told our entire lives: we've been told that if we just work harder, if we just make better choices, if we just pull ourselves up by our bootstraps, we'll make it. We've been told that poverty is a personal failure, that incarceration is a consequence of bad decisions, that struggling to build wealth is a sign of poor financial literacy or lack of discipline. We've been told that the barriers we face are individual problems requiring individual solutions. But what if I told you that's a lie? What if I told you that the challenges facing Black professionals, entrepreneurs, and families are not the result of individual choices or isolated incidents, but the product of interlocking systems that have been deliberately designed to keep us from thriving? What if the very structures we've been taught to trust, the welfare system, the criminal justice system, the financial institutions, were never built to support us, but to surveil us, control us, and punish us for daring to survive? That's the truth Shakira Hammonds brought to light in our conversation. And it's a truth that every Black woman in her soft girl era needs to hear, because you can't heal what you don't understand. You can't set boundaries with systems you don't see. And you can't reclaim your agency if you're still blaming yourself for barriers that were never yours to carry. Let me take you back. For decades, Black men have been the primary targets of the criminal justice system. Mass incarceration didn't just happen, it was engineered. Policies like the war on drugs, mandatory minimum sentencing, and three strikes laws were designed to funnel Black men into prisons at rates that defy logic and humanity. These policies were crafted with intention. They were sold to the public as safety measures, as tough on crime solutions, but their true purpose was control. Their true purpose was to destabilize Black families and Black communities by removing Black men from their homes, their neighborhoods, their futures. And the impact, devastating. Think about this. An organization called the Center for Employment Opportunities was founded in New York in the 1970s. Why? Because Black men leaving incarceration faced severe obstacles that made reentry nearly impossible: limited job prospects, housing discrimination, the permanent stigma of a criminal record. These aren't accidents. These aren't unfortunate side effects. These are the intended outcomes of a system that criminalizes Blackness and then punishes people for surviving within it. Since its founding, the Center for Employment Opportunities has placed over 34,000 formerly incarcerated individuals, disproportionately Black men, into jobs. They provide transitional employment, job coaching, and ongoing support, focusing on immediate income and long term stability. And here's what they found: participants in their programs are significantly less likely to return to prison compared to those who don't receive support. This tells us something critical. It tells us that when Black men are given genuine support, real opportunity, and a pathway forward, they thrive. The problem was never the people. The problem was always the system. But here's what we don't talk about enough. While Black men were being funneled into prisons, Black women were being funneled into welfare systems that surveilled their homes, policed their relationships, and penalized them for seeking support. The welfare system wasn't designed to help Black women build wealth or stability. It was designed to control them, to make them prove their worthiness, to separate them from their partners, to destabilize their families under the guise of assistance. And the result, Black families were torn apart, not because of personal failure, not because of bad choices, but because the systems designed to help were actually designed to harm. Now, let's talk about what this means for you. For the high achieving Black woman who has spent her entire life trying to do everything right, you went to school, you built a career, you raised your children, you held down your household, you carried your community, and yet you're exhausted, you're burnt out. You're wondering why, despite all your effort, despite all your strength, it still feels like you're fighting an uphill battle. It's because you are. But the battle isn't with yourself, it's with systems that were never designed to let you win. Shakira Hammonds helped me see that recognizing these patterns allows us to challenge narratives of personal failure and instead focus on changing the structures that shape opportunity and identity. This is the first step in your soft girl era. Understanding that the weight you've been carrying isn't yours, it was placed on you by design. Let me give you an example. In Minneapolis, a Black entrepreneur, an advocate named Jasmine Brett Stringer, founded the Black Women's Wealth Alliance. Jasmine witnessed firsthand how Black women were systematically denied access to resources and support. She saw how the historic patterns of surveillance and economic control that Shakira described weren't just history, they were happening right now in real time to real women trying to build real futures. Black women in Minneapolis, as in much of the United States, faced barriers to capital. They were excluded from financial institutions. They carried the legacy of policies that penalized them for seeking support or building wealth. And Jasmine could have accepted that narrative. She could have believed that Black women were failing, but she didn't. Instead, she recognized that the system was failing Black women and she built something new. The Black Women's Wealth Alliance created culturally relevant financial education programs. They established micro grant opportunities. They built a network of Black women business owners who support each other's growth. And the results? Over 1,500 Black women have participated in these programs. Many have launched successful businesses. Many have improved their credit scores. Many are now building generational wealth. The organization has distributed more than $500,000 in grants and helped dozens of Black women secure business loans and home ownership. This is what resilience looks like. This is what innovation in the face of adversity looks like. Despite policies and stereotypes meant to destabilize and divide, Black communities have continually demonstrated resilience, building mutual aid networks, advocacy organizations, and cultural movements. For Black professionals and entrepreneurs, this history is a reminder that strength, creativity, and leadership often emerge from navigating and resisting systemic adversity. But here's the counterintuitive part, the part that challenges everything we've been taught. We've been told that resilience means enduring, that strength means surviving, that success means proving we can make it despite the odds. We wear our survival like a badge of honor. We carry our exhaustion like a trophy. We perform our strength for a world that demands it. But what if resilience also means refusing to carry what was never ours? What if strength also means setting boundaries with systems that demand our exhaustion? What if success also means creating spaces where future generations don't have to fight the same battles we did? This is the power of reclaiming narrative and agency. Understanding how state systems have influenced identity and worth is the first step in reclaiming agency. Black leaders and entrepreneurs have the opportunity to rewrite narratives, advocate for equitable policies, and create space where future generations can thrive without being defined by the limitations of the past. Let me tell you about something that embodies this perfectly: the National Bailout Collective. This Black led and Black centered collective raises money to bail Black women and caregivers out of jail, reuniting families separated by the criminal justice system and predatory bail practices. Here's what most people don't understand: Black women are disproportionately jailed pre-trial due to inability to pay bail. Not because they're guilty, not because they're dangerous, but because they're poor. And this process destabilizes families and perpetuates poverty in ways that ripple across generations. Since 2017, the Black Mamas Bailout campaign has reunited hundreds of Black women with their families. They've sparked national conversations about bail reform and the criminalization of poverty. The campaign has raised millions of dollars, influenced policy debates, and inspired similar initiatives across the country. This is what it looks like to refuse the narrative, to say, no, we will not accept a system that punishes poverty and disrupts family life. We will not accept a system that targets Black women for daring to survive. We will build something better. And that's what your soft girl era is really about. It's not just about rest. Though rest is sacred, it's not just about boundaries. Though boundaries are essential, it's about recognizing that the systems that taught you to survive were never designed to let you thrive. And it's about choosing every single day to build something different, because here's the truth that no one wants to say out loud: systemic barriers are designed, not accidental. The suffering you've experienced, the obstacles you have faced, the exhaustion you carry, these are not random, they are not coincidental. They are the result of intentional policy decisions made by people in power who benefited from your struggle. But here's the other truth: liberation is also designed, healing is also designed. The soft girl era you're stepping into right now, that's designed too, by you, for you, and for every Black woman who comes after you. So I want to leave you with this challenge. How can you, as a leader, as an entrepreneur, as a woman who has survived what was meant to break you, how can you actively challenge the systems and narratives that have shaped Black communities? Not just for your own success, but to create pathways for others who are still navigating those barriers. What is one action you can take this week to support equity, resilience, and agency in your community? Is it mentoring a young Black woman trying to start a business? Is it donating to an organization like the Black Women's Wealth Alliance or the National Bailout Collective? Is it speaking up in spaces where policies are being made? Is it simply sharing your story so another woman knows she's not alone? Because here's what I know for certain: you are not broken, you are not failing, you are navigating a world that was never built for your freedom. And the fact that you're still here, still thriving, still choosing softness in a world that taught you survival, that is the revolution. The system that taught you survival was never designed to let you thrive, but you're thriving anyway. And that terrifies them. So keep going, keep building, keep choosing yourself, keep stepping into your soft girl era with your head high and your boundaries higher, because your liberation isn't just about you. It's about every Black woman watching you, learning from you, and believing that if you can do it, maybe she can too. Your softness is your power. Your rest is your resistance. And your joy is the revolution they never saw coming.